promised you guys I'd do this today. October 19th. It's been 9 days since the start of the season. And I've played a bunch of ranked. I've played a bunch of quick play. And so I think I'm in a spot now where I can pretty confidently say what are the best and worst heroes so far this season. We just got a dev blog that came out that talks about some serious support changes in the back half of season 7 for the mid-season, which I think is going to be really good because as you'll see in this tier list, there's not really such thing as bad support right now, to be honest. So, scrimming things to the tier 1, I appreciate it. All right, we'll start off with the tanks first. Let's start off with the tanks first. First up, we have the demon of last season, which was Orisa. People got mad at me last season for not putting Orisa in S tier. I still stand by that to this right now. I didn't think Orisa was that good. I really thought that it was more of supports that were carrying the Orisa. And the way it basically worked was that support has this window where they can save you based on their healing plus cooldowns. Once those are used, the window opens for death. That window, Orisa's cooldowns and fortify and sustainability was just big enough that she could survive until the next rotation of cooldowns, and that would extend her survivability a little bit longer to the point where maybe she even gets another set of cooldowns up, and if she does, then it feels like you can never kill her. Aaron Keller actually in his dev blog that he just released, talking about Orisa got nerfed this season, but said that from a stats perspective, Orisa isn't one of our top performing tanks, and it actually goes this season to Reinhardt and Sigma. But Orisa, I didn't even think was that good that last season. So this might be a bit controversial. I'm going to put Orisa in like the low B, maybe even C tier. I don't think Orisa's that good. I think she has a place. I think she's still the wall, but your kill potential is really not that great anymore. You basically are a wall. Illari is really, really good, and it used to be good with Orisa to eat Illari's ult, but Illari ult got nerfed in the size of it, so it's much harder to eat now, so you have to be a lot closer. And so actually Sigma and Reinhardt are better at blocking it. Not you should be playing Ryan. Ryan's really not that great, but like, you know, in the middle ranks, pretty good. But like Sigma actually is better because you have the shield plus the suck, you know? So like you have basically Orisa's ability to eat it, but you're not getting headshot constantly by Illari's amazing damage left click hit scan. So I'm gonna put Orisa's in the B tier. And honestly, that might even be too high. I don't think she's that good. Junker Queen. This is a weird one. Because I don't think Junker Queen's that good. But I don't think she's that bad. I think that what's keeping Junker Queen from being good is the fact that Zarya is good. The fact that Poke is really good. The fact that if you are running Rush, you're running Mei Rush. And Mei Rush really shits on Junker Queen. Because Mei just got her buff back, where she does 100 damage per second with her beam, but also slows. And Junker Queen's whole shtick is about running at you really quick, popping the big axe, you know, but if you wall her off from her team and just start freezing her, she falls over super quick, because she doesn't have many tools to keep herself alive. I'm going to throw Junker Queen in the B tier. I think that she could be actually a really, really strong tank. I've seen really good Junker Queens on the ladder. And I think that in the rare instance you play up against certain tanks in this matchup, like let's say you walk in playing against a like a Winston, you know, on certain maps where somebody plays Winston. Hey, Junker Queen's goddamn really good versus Winston. So not saying you're seeing a ton of Winston, but I've had a few games where somebody swaps Winston at the last second because I'm on Zarya, and I swap Junker Queen, and that guy fell over on the last fight, and we win. So, just saying, I think she has a place. Ramattra. So, for those who don't know, Ramattra got a buff this season, right? Ramattra got a buff. His Nemesis form is on a 7-second cooldown. Or an 8-second cooldown. But he's still fucking terrible. Why is Ramattra terrible? You can tell the difference between people in chat. Some people are saying A. Some people are saying C. You know why Ram is an A tier, chat? Because Ana exists. Ana exists. Ana literally makes you get on your knees and beg for mercy if you play Ramattra. And it's not even close. Ramattra cannot be any higher than a B tier. I think he has his place in certain areas. I think that if you play super rush, super hard rush versus Sigma team, or if the enemy team's running a really hard Rein Mei rush, and your team's playing poke, Ramattra just sitting there punching the Rein through his shield constantly is pretty good. Not great, but none of the tanks are great. We're going to get into that. But I don't think any tanks are great right now. So there's going to be a pattern I think you'll start to notice in this tier list as we go. I don't think Ram's bad, though. Do you guys think Ram's bad? I think Ram as a character is good. He hasn't even gotten any nerf. He hasn't even really got that many, like, changes other than his big ultimate change. Just everything else, the power has outpaced it so hard that it doesn't matter. And we're going to get to that in a minute. I hope this is going to be a eureka moment for people in chat. I hope it's going to be, because, like, truly I think it is. Beyond Ramattra, we have what is probably the only A tank of the season, which, to be honest with you, I'm only giving, because of the current meta, is Sigma. Sigma will be our A tank of the season. Remember last season it was Orisa. Everyone was like, why isn't Orisa an S tier? The same answer is going to go for Sigma on why he is not S tier. Because Sigma got no changes. He's been the same Sigma for the last few seasons. He's not any better than he was. And actually, we were having a conversation just a few months ago on whether Sigma was too weak and if the nerf to his rock left click combo was too much. Why did we have that conversation? Because not that Sigma was bad, but because there was other tanks that were better in the meta, and the support creep hadn't fully hit its pinnacle yet. Sigma as a tank is a character that can sit there and survive for a really, really long amount of time and not die, right? With his shield, with his suck, his shield coming back online, he does good damage, he has the rock, his ult's pretty decent, right? He has a lot of cool tools in his kit, but Sigma's not a big playmaker. Sigma's not a playmaker tank like Doomfist or Zarya or Reinhardt, Winston. Hell, even Junker Queen or Ramattra you can throw in that list, right? Not a playmaker tank. He's a stand there, poke them, zone them, punish them for getting too close type of tank. And that's the game we currently play on tank. The AFK game is what I call it. I won a game last night against Samito on tank where I literally played AFK. He actually almost punched me off the map on Eichenwald because I was AFK on second point on the cart. I had sat there for 3 minutes and done nothing. I was half asleep at my keyboard, and I heard at the last second he snuck around behind me, and I heard the charge up, and I went, wait, and I turned, and I barely stayed on the map by this much because I was so asleep at the wheel. Because why? Because I don't play the game. I bubble all my teammates and stand there. That's my version of playing the video game. And I win most of those games. And I'm going to be honest with you, Sam should have won a few of those games. He played better than I did sometimes. But I've realized that's not my place anymore. I stand there in AFK and I win all my games. Can you really get mad at me, though, at that point? If I'm winning the game, isn't that correct way to play? Depends on who you ask, I guess. But point is, though, Sigma's your A tank for the season so far. Best pick most of the time. But I don't think Sigma's a dominant pick who needs nerfs in any way, shape, or form. If anything, we still need to probably have the conversation of the rock left click should come back. But best tank so far. Sigma's probably your walk out of spawn tank. Doomfist. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're really good Doomfist, you can go crazy with him. I think Doomfist is insanely good if you're really good at Doomfist. However, though, there's not that many good Doomfists. There's like 6. There's like 6 of them that actually know how to play the character to its highest level. And even when they do know how to play the character to his highest level, you can shut him down now. You can shut him down, for sure. Even good Dooms still get shut down. QuakeDawn actually swapped off Doom recently in a tournament against a stack of Masters players. Even though Doom is good, and you've definitely had those games where that Doomfist player is f***ing your entire team, unfortunately, I don't think he's that great overall. He's easy to counter, unless you literally have a doctorate degree in aerodynamics. You're not doing a whole lot. I don't think he's top tier. Not the best tank of the season. Solid B tier. Zarya. I think Zarya is actually pretty good. Zarya has been my tank of the season that I pick to get shit done, right? Like if someone's lacking in damage, I pick Zarya. Someone's getting focused a lot by a Doomfist, I pick Zarya. Someone getting focused a lot by a Tracer or something, I pick Zarya. I bubble that shitter on cooldown. That guy no longer dies, and I have full charge. or I have 0 charge. Guess what? If I have 0 charge and I'm doing nothing but bubbling my teammates the entire time, that means they're not dying. We're still winning the damn game. Unfortunately, though, Zarya can run into some problems, just like all the other tanks in this list. I would say she's slightly better. She's slightly better than, say, Ramattra or Junker Queen or Doomfist. I'm a little hesitant to put her in the same category as Sigma, though. I think Sigma's probably just a different tier from Zarya. So unfortunately, I'm going to put Zarya in the B tier. High B. High B for sure. Rein, I don't think is great. I think you get really hard in ranked on Rein. But May Rush is coming back, and I've seen some people make Rein work. I'm not one of those people, because I go Ramattra and then they just fall over and die. But I've seen a lot of people winning games on Rein. So I'm half tempted to throw him in the low B tier. I don't think he's necessarily the worst. I don't think he's necessarily good. I think every time you play Rein, you sign up for a game where you're either going to be playing with your team all together and W keying in and going crazy, or you're having an absolutely miserable time and you swap off. But does that mean the character is bad? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the support meta has creeped up so hard that your shield explodes so fast that you're 1, comp reliant, and 2, sometimes it just is what it is. If you have good supports, you can make it work. If they have good supports and you don't, sometimes just go next. But that doesn't make Rein necessarily bad. So I'm going to give him a low B. Winston. I don't think Winston is bad. I don't think Winston's bad at all. I think he's just hardcore gatekept by characters like Bastion right now. But on certain maps like Watchpoint Gibraltar, Winston can be okay. He can be good. But you also don't get much done on Winston. You get nothing done. Unless you have crazy follow-up. Because, tell me if I'm wrong, have you ever had a game where you play against a Winston or with a Winston where they just don't die the entire game? Like, they're insane. Like, they are, like, the best Winston player of all time. Like Mono rose up out of the depths of 2016 Overwatch and came back to play Winston in your random gold game, right? But I don't think it's the Winston. I think it's the supports. I think the supports are what's keeping him alive. I don't think we have this magic, insane Winston players that come out of nowhere. I think it's supports. I think it's genuinely supports every time. I mean, and I'll give you an example. In my history of Overwatch, in my 6 years of playing, 5 years of top 500, I have never, not once, ever had a game of Overwatch that I finished with 0 kills. I've already had 1 this season, and I had a very close second yesterday. It's been 9 days. In the 9 days of this season, I've had almost 2 games where I finished with 0 kills. 0. It's never happened to me in all the years I've played Overwatch. You know why? You know when it happens? When they have insanely good supports with a pretty good tank that just sit on my head the entire game. Every time. Without fail. There's also another part that happens with it where it's like if we have like a Mercy pocketed character and like they're not performing super well, like if we have a Mercy, right? Let's say we have a Mercy Ashe, and then like a BAP. I'm only getting healed by 1 support. They're getting healed by 2 supports plus their tank. I just clapped up every single time, and it's not even close. So I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's really bad. But I don't think that means Winston's bad. I think it just means whatever your support comps are. And if you have really good supports and a good support comp, Winston can be really good. And D.Va's going to go in the same thing. I think D.Va's a little bit lower than Winston. I would say D.Va's a little bit on the low tier of B. But I don't think D.Va's bad either. I think D.Va's good. I think D.Va can go good against Winston and even better against Doomfist. Because if they have a Doomfist, right, and they have a good Doomfist, every time their Doomfist punches in, do this, okay? If you play D.Va and they have a good Doomfist, do this. Follow their Doom the whole game. That's all you do. If their Doom punches your backline, literally fly at your backline and DM them. Guarantee they won't get a kill. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And if they do get a kill, it's because your supports are wasting their cooldowns. Because once the stun's over, the left click, he goes to finish them, gets eaten. You can't kill him. Throw a nade at the ground. Throw an armor pack to the other guy. Throw a Suzu. Throw a lamp. kick them away, fly away, fade away, wall ride away. They will not die. It should not be possible. It should not happen. And I've done that all season. Every time I've gone against a good Doomfist player, I pick D.Va and I turn around and look at my team. I'm not joking. I spent one game on Coliseo. I spent staring at my backline. I was literally turned around on D.Va, walking backwards at the enemy team. We won. You guys were there. You guys were there. So I don't think D.Va's bad either. It doesn't feel good, but she's not bad. And now it's time to get to the true hot take. Roadhog. I think Roadhog's good. I think Roadhog's really good. I think he's actually insanely good. Don't believe me? It's my 5th most played this season. I have 79% win rate, and it's actually much higher than that, but it goes off of every 10 minutes of playtime. So I only have 44 minutes of playtime. In those 44 minutes, I've swapped Hog for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes in those games, and I've won 8 or 9 out of 10. You want to know why I win all of those games? I'll tell you. It's very simple. I haven't told anyone the secret yet, but I'm telling you the secret now. No Ana. If they don't have an Ana, they legitimately can't kill you. If you have Illari Bap, Kiri Bap, Ana Bap, Lifeweaver Bap, or any of those combos, Lifeweaver Illari, Lifeweaver Ana, you literally can't die. Such a bad take to me. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you my experience. I have not lost a single game against a non-Ana running team playing Roadhog. Not one. You know why? Because healing is so strong right now that the little gap that there is in which you can die is broken by Hog's 300 self-heal and 50% damage reduction. You can't kill him. It's not possible. Bastion can't kill me. I've not died to Bastion. You know why? Because Bastion uses his shift. You move around a little bit. You take a couple of the bullets. You take a couple of bullets. You're getting healed by your supports. You get below 30 HP. Pop it. 350 healing. 50% damage reduction. You're alive the whole way through. Then you hook him. Pull him in. Guess what's over now? His shift's over. And then his shift is over at the end of that. Even though it's still on for maybe a half a second. Then he pops up and he's like, uh-oh. And he dies. You don't kill him. Your team kills him. You live because you stunned him. So you lived through the damage. You killed the Bastion. And then the whole point of it is not going for kills with Hook. You don't go for kills with Hook. You don't go for anything. If they have a shield tank like Sigma, you break his shield. You do nothing but break his shield the entire time and hook him out of his suck. If they have a Doomfist, you do nothing but hook him out of his block. If they have a Reinhardt, you sit there and you wait until one of 3 things happens. 1, you break his shield. 2, he goes for a charge. Or 3, you get whole hog. Delito. Elito delito his ass. But if they swap Ana, immediately run back to spawn. Immediately. Like, no, immediately. If they have an Ana, you run back to spawn. No matter what. Instantly. Doesn't matter if you have a Kiriko. Instantly. Because you waste your Kiriko's cooldown, and it's not worth. If they do not have an Ana, though, you legitimately can't die. It's not possible. Now, you might be saying there, Flats, I don't like this take. It makes no sense. Why is Roadhog good all of a sudden? And here's my eureka moment to you, chat. Remember when season 2 and he got hard nerfed? And everyone's like, wow, that character's terrible. F tier, D tier. Hog has gotten 0 buffs since then. 0. But you know why Roadhog's not that bad now? Because all the other tanks have gotten nerfed down. And all the supports have gotten buffed. So it doesn't matter anymore. The big gap that was between the two has been compressed. It's so much more compressed now. So a character that was F tier shitter back in season 2 is now good or playable, in my personal opinion, in ranked, as long as they don't have an Ana, because all the other tanks have been crushed down and the floor of supports that keeps you alive has been risen. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I am legitimately insane for this. I know I am. I know I am. I probably sound like a crazy person. But there's something to it. There's something to it, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I know what it, okay, I know that as long as they have an Ana, it's fine. But if they don't have an Ana, I literally just don't die. Wait till the rework. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the rework, but this is as of this moment. As of this moment. I know I sound crazy. I know I sound insane, but it's how I feel. And then there's Wrecking Ball. Okay, Wrecking Ball is the only one I would probably throw in the C tier. Listen, the only reason why Wrecking Ball doesn't go in D tier, in my personal opinion, is Ball is worse versus... Sorry. Sombra is worse versus Ball now. I think that the Sombra change was a nerf versus Ball. And so, before you should just be able to hack the Ball constantly, just running around. And you can still kind of do that. But it lasts so much longer now, you only get one hack per team fight most of the time. You know? So, if the Sombra uses it too early, it's not that bad. Plus, you can hunt the Sombra down and kill her. Yep, you're right, Roadrunner. Jesus Christ. You can hunt her down and kill her. But honestly, the most important one, in my opinion, is she doesn't have the extra damage anymore. So, because she doesn't have the extra damage from her hack, it's not as much damage. And Ball has a little bit better survivability. It's still not great, though, because all these supports still up. But that's why, in my opinion, I go from D to C. Because last season, I put him in D. I would say I give him a C, just because of the Sombra change. DPS up next. Soldier. Soldier. Soldier's a hard one. I think Soldier's very solid. Very, very solid. You guys are all spamming A, but to be honest with you, the only time I would think a Soldier is an A tier is if he's Mercy Pocketed. Soldier by himself, I don't think is A right now. I think Sojourn's better now. I think Soldier's a solid B. Solid B. High B. He got damage buffs. Yeah, and then he also got a small damage nerf. That was a few seasons ago. That has no effect on what the current meta is. Which is more Sigma. Which means that with a character like Sigma being meta or being stronger, a more baseline standard damage dealer doesn't really become that impactful compared to some others. Actually, the DPS this season is kind of struggling. At least that's my thought. There's a couple characters that stand out, like Bastion, Sojourn, Symmetra, Echo. But other than that, though, I think Soldier's actually... I think he's good. I don't know if I want to put him in an A tier yet. Let me go a little bit further with this list. See how I feel about some of these other characters. Soldier might get bumped. Maybe. I'm not ready yet, though. Ashe... Ashe, I would put in the B tier, for sure. I put it in the B tier for sure. I think Ashe is slept on really, really hard right now. I agree with that. But she's not really that strong without a Mercy Pocket. You basically need a Mercy Pocket Ashe. And because you need a Mercy Pocket Ashe, you're missing out on, like, some of the best supports in the roster right now. Because Mercy's, like, good. She's okay. But, like, other supports are just way better. Because you pick Ashe, you basically hinder your most powerful part of your team, aka supports at the moment. I can't put her in an A tier. Because just by putting her in A tier because you have a Mercy Pocket means you're making the team even worse. So I want to grade her off of just being Ashe alone. And so by that, I gotta give her B. Just how it is. Bastion, easy A. Easy A for Bastion. I'm kind of contemplating going S. But he's not as good as he was last season. He's worse. But I still think he's really good. Yeah, no, I gotta do it. Alright, making my adjustment. Bastion is S. I would give Bastion S tier. He's much worse than he was last season, since the shift change, but he's still so strong that he gatekeeps one... Well, actually, not really one, but kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the tanks in the roster right now. Arguably. Even makes Orisa's life not fun. It makes Doomfist's life not fun. Sigma eats his tank damage, though. Yeah, but you're not listening to me. Listen to my words, okay? Because what I'm telling you is, this character alone keeps this from being played, this from being played, this from being played, this from being played, and this from being played. So the fact that they are keeping 5 of the tanks completely out of the game, I can't not put him in S tier, actually. Even though Bastion versus Sigma is not as good, it's the same reasoning why, like, last season you would go Orisa versus Bastion. It's the same thing with Sigma. There's been no change. The only difference is Orisa got a little bit weaker, and Sigma just became a little bit better versus it. So I gotta give Bastion. Gotta give him S. Gotta give him S. That's just how it is. So, Cass. This is a hard one. You gotta put him in C, unfortunately. I gotta put him in C. Here's the reason. What's Cass' usefulness now? Doomfist? I'll give you that. Ball? Maybe. Not really. Pharah? Absolutely. Echo? Absolutely. That's it. May Cass, not that good. May Cass, Rhine Rush? No point. Bastion May. Rush. Bastion Sigma? May. There's no point. There's no reason to have Cass. Because Cass's whole identity now, Sojourn. Yeah, bingo. Sojourn's another one. There's no point. Sojourn does it better. Bastion does it better. If you're playing Poke and you're playing a spread out comp, Cass has bad fall off range now. No point. So, Cass is best up close, and there's just better DPS than that. So there's no point in picking him anymore. Crazy take? Not really. If this is the take that you think is crazy, God, I wish you were here for my Roadhog talk. Holy f. Speaking of characters I think that are actually kind of good, though, Echo. I think Echo's like a solid A tier this season. So here's the deal. With Sigma being most of the meta tank, like what you mostly pick, Echo's kind of free. Because Sigma's really not that good versus Echo. It's really hard to shoot at Echo. So you already have the tank basically taken out of the equation of doing anything to you. Or poking you at all. Which means that they need to swap to something to probably f you a little bit. And what are your options? Cass, which then puts them in a situation where they're playing Cass, which is not that good. so like, yes, the Cass is good versus the Echo, but versus everything else, they're not that great. So Echo ends up actually eating pretty well this season. Ashe, I'd give Ashe pretty decent, but again, Ashe isn't that good this season. There is no hit scan DPS other than Bastion at the moment that I'd say is like exceptional this season. So with the lack of hit scan, Echo becomes a lot better. Echo Mercy's really good, but here's the key. Ashe isn't that good without Mercy, right? Can we all agree on that? Chat, give me a nodders if you agree. Right? Give me a nodders if you agree. Yeah? Echo without a Mercy, though, can be pretty good, right? Not saying it's the best, but it can be pretty good, right? You can play Echo without an Ashe. Or sorry, without a Mercy. You cannot play Mercy without an Ashe this season. So, for that reason, I gotta put it a little bit higher. A tier. Hang on, before I rank him, I need to show you something. Before I rank him, I must show you something first.
3, 2, 1, go. What? Is that way? Is that normal?
Now, you should see the replies on that tweet. Sorry, that X or whatever the f you want to call it. There are so many seething supports. Skill issue, cope. My guy. Somebody went after him and said, you reflected when you could have killed the Cass. They reflected the Hinder. They baited out the Suzu. But what saved him was the Alari turret. Plus healing. There was no ultimates used. So, Genji, literal Nanoblade, so Nanoblade for the history of Overwatch has always been one of the more fun / frustrating ultimate combos, because you can't, like, for a long time there was no way to beat Nanoblade, right? Like, the only way to beat Nanoblade was to sleep him, you know, CC him, dodge him, you know what I mean? Like, for years, that was always the norm. It's now at the point where healing outdoes Nanoblade damage. Like, think about that, right? Think about that. So, I'm sorry, but, like, he's really bad. He's really, really bad. There's, like, 2 Genji players left on the ladder. One of them, I played with him the other day. He's funny. He's, like, 35, apparently. He's, like, an old guy who, like, works for Google. And it was, like, him and his duo playing with me and Karq, and we were, like, the old boomer squad. And he was talking about how he used to watch Seagull back in the day. Yeah, he's old. He's old as... Yeah, 35 and streaming and gaming is old. I'm sorry to break it to you, dude. I hate to break it to you. I'm old to them, okay? I'm 27 and I'm old, okay? So, if you're 35, I'm sorry to tell you, you're ancient. in this universe. Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry, dude. I know all of you are old as f. I get it. I understand. I am with you. But there's a difference. Like, I'm a senior citizen. You were around when the dinosaurs got wiped out. You know what I mean? Like, you had a first-hand account. But the point is, though, Genji's really bad. It was fun playing with them. They were a great time. Hopefully bump into them again soon. We get to play the Boomer Squad. But Genji D tier. I can't put him any higher. There's literally no point in playing the character. Your ult is useless. The only point you play Genji is because he's fun. Like, if Genji... Okay. In a world where Genji was thought of as... Who's boring? Who's a boring character, chat? Who do you think is a boring character to play? Okay, a lot of you guys are saying Sim. Let's say Sim wasn't good, right? Are many people going to play Sim? No. Not really. What's keeping Genji's play rate so high is the fact that he's fun. And that's really sad. Not saying Genji needs buffs, although, hey, it wouldn't hurt. Everything else is just creeped up so high. Honestly, Genji and Rein kind of fall into the same problem where they're really good in the lower ranks, so they don't get any buffs, but they get absolutely f***ed on in the higher rank, and with support power creep, it's scary. Let's move on, though, okay? Hanzo. I think Hanzo's very solid. I don't think anything's wrong with Hanzo. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's exceptional. I think he's just fine. I think he's just a good, solid pick. Potential one-shots. You know, if you hit the headshot, Storm Arrow, you know, spamming out shield slash, you know, whatever their tanks is. Dragon's not amazing, but, you know, Sonic Arrow plus, you know, most of the time you're basically scouting shots for your Sojourn or your Widow, or probably your supports are going to 2-tap their supports, realistically. But, you know, it is what it is. Hanzo's not a bad character. I think he's fine. Nothing wrong with him. I think he's okay. So, anyways. Junkrat. I'm sorry. I don't think Junkrat's that good. There's one sniper of mine. There's a stream sniper. He's a friendly stream sniper who plays Junkrat. And this guy's insane. He just kills me every time he gets in my games, I swear to God. But other than that, though, I don't really see any Junkrats. Just not that great of a pick right now. Gotta put him in the C tier. Put him in the C tier. Not as good as Genji because his ult can actually get kills. But, you know, Junkrat's fun. I enjoy Junkrat. I like being a Junkrat gamer every once in a while. That don't mean any good, though. Is May B? What the f are you talking about? Is May B? How about S? How's that feel? You guys surprised? Wait, you guys are surprised? If you go back, okay, I don't be that guy, but like, it keeps fucking happening. But back in season 3, before the May changes happen, I told everyone that May was broken good, like very good, and people were just discovering it, right? But she got that change. She got the change right after. So, a lot of people didn't figure it out. This is just old May now. She's good. She's the wall for good rush, 100 damage per second, plus the slow. Oh, May kind of rolls. And especially in a meta like this, which is like hard poke, if you play extremely aggressive rush, you wall off their Sigma, Zarya, Ramatra, Doom, Winston, Junker Queen, Orisa, Diva, Rein, or Roadhog, they're pretty much dead. You walk up, you wall them, and you hold your left click on them. Just... And they can't run away. Can't run, can't hide, can't fight. Can't do shit. Can't do shit. And then guess what? The second you think you're free, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna live. The wall's down, I'm free. Mail. Frozen, dead. Do you notice there's a trend here with the characters that are really good at tank busting are really f***ing good? And we haven't even gotten to support yet? Oh my god. No wonder tank is miserable. Hopefully no arguments on the May placement. I don't think there's really any reason to. Pharah. I don't think Pharah is bad. I don't think she's insane either, though. Here's the problem with Pharah. When you play against a really f***ing good Pharah, there's nothing you can do. It's ass. But it's so rare that it's like, okay, you know, it's like not that big of a problem. But like, it's kinda ass. And especially as a tank player, you don't have anything to deal with it other than D.Va. D.Va's the one exception that you can kind of deal with a Fire Mercy. But if it's a good Fire Mercy, you're not doing it on your own. Just not happening. So it's kind of annoying. And it's like you have to commit everything to them. You have to commit your flight, your defense matrix, your micro missiles, your positioning. There's lots of shit. So like, that's not fun. I thought that Ramatra was going to end up being that guy, you know, who you'd throw the thing on the ground, he would suck him down, but the hitbox for it isn't even that tall. So like, if a Pharah is at the skybox and you throw the Ramatra thing underneath it, doesn't even pull him down, which is so stupid. I don't know why they did that, but point is, I throw Pharah in a solid B. Not bad, not good. So yeah. Does Flats actually play the game instead of judging every damn thing, question mark? You mean like how I played ranked yesterday for like 7 straight hours and wanted to literally like fall off the map constantly? Like that part? Like the part that I stream every single day for about like 6 to 8 hours every single day, and during big drop streams like 13 to 15 hours a day? Oh, my bad for doing a tier list, buddy. My bad. My bad. Sorry about that. I'll check in with you next time. Anyways, I think Reaper's like not that great, but has potential in certain areas. I'd probably give him a C or a B. B would be a little bit generous. Since the tanks that are like the characters are really good at tank busting are insanely good right now. I'm just gonna stick my gut. I'm gonna give him a B tier. You get that Reaper who just like goes in their backline constantly, bubbling him in a little bit. I was doing it yesterday. I don't think he's that bad. I think just Bash and Mei is just so much better. Bash and Mei is just so much better. Like, what's the point of playing Reaper? That doesn't mean Reaper's bad. Doesn't mean Reaper's bad. Like, I don't think he's bad. But what's the point? Because Mei and Bastion are just 10 times better. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the point. All right, Sojourn. Sojourn's gonna go in the A category. I think Sojourn's really, really good. She's starting to make a bit of a return. So the reason why Sojourn fell off so bad is because they nerfed her right-click damage into the ground. Sorry, technically left-click. Her projectile, not the railgun. I have the buttons flipped on my Sojourn setup. The point is though, the projectile got nerfed so much that you could never really do damage at range. It was kind of bad. So because of that, the consistency of Sojourn fell off a lot, so there was no point in picking her because other characters became more consistent. But then they made that little buff where the first like 5 bullets or so are now much more accurate. So Sojourn's a lot better now. And so I think people are starting to rediscover how good Sojourn is. So I've been seeing a lot more of her in my games, and she feels really effective. So I think she slept on a little bit because Bastion and Mei are so strong. But I bet if you see Bastion and Mei get tuned back a little bit, Sojourn might rise up and take that spot again. Alright, this is a big one. This is the big one. Sombra. Chat, what side of the fence do you sit on? Are you on the Sombra needs buffs or the Sombra needs nerfs fence? I'm slightly leaning in the park of buff. But only on one thing. EMP. Just EMP. EMP is useless. EMP is useless. Everything else I think is fine. EMP is not useful at the moment with the changes, and it takes so long to build it up that the whole EMP is basically spending 2 minutes to build up and go jazz hands in front of the enemy team and not kill anything. So I think that she should get that buffed. Okay, so if you want to hear the whole debate, from what I've heard, certain Sombra players like Fitzy thinks it's really weak and needs some buffs. And then certain Sombra players like Ruben thinks it's actually strong. And it depends on who you're playing against. And so when I play tested Sombra pre-launch, before she got a bunch of buffs, she was awful. And the whole playstyle was around hack the tank. Then she got buffs and hit live, and it basically became the support killer, right? Once it became the support killer, that's when everyone went bananas. It was like, oh my god, Sombra's so OP. But now people are realizing how to play against Sombra, right? They're realizing how to play against Sombra. And so certain supports you can't duel. Kiri, Bap, Ilari, What was the other one Ruben said? Was it Brig? I don't remember. There was another one that you can't really duel on it. And so he's like, as long as they pick one of those supports, I can't play the video game. But if they don't have those supports, I can do everything. But then I also heard that she's really good at 1v1ing DPS. So I sit there and I'm like, well, what value does she bring to the game? Hack is really valuable, but the EMP was the fight winner. Fight winning potential's gone. Individual pick potential's still high, but she gets punished a lot, and people aren't that good at her yet. So in my personal opinion, I think she's B tier currently. I think that EMP probably needs some changes, probably needs a buff, but other than that, I think she's fine. I think that the spawn killing is going to get annoying. If you're like someone walking back from spawn by yourself, your chances of getting one tapped from a hack virus combo is quite high. But this rework was really good. It actually took a lot of the pressure off of hacking tanks constantly, and it's now shifted more to DPS and supports. And to be honest with you, I think that's pretty good, because they still fight back pretty well. Now, whenever support gets tuned back, you might have to take a look at Sombra again. But at least for right now, I think she's okay. I think she's okay. All right, let's continue the hot take streak, shall we? Symmetra. Low-key, Symmetra's good. Symmetra's really good. You know why Symmetra's good? Because this guy's meta. This guy, right here. Sigma. There's 2 or 3 playstyles that are right now being dominated on the ladder. There's the Sigma poke. There's the Zarya / Rein rush with Mei Sim. And then there's like the Doomfist players, but like, to be honest with you, that's like a different world. Sim's really good versus Sigma. She builds up her ammo off his shield, builds up her charge off his shield, and f***ing rolls him. Because once his shield's gone, he can't suck the damage. It's hard to left click her. She has 225 HP. She's actually really good against Sigma. She's pretty decent against Rein if you're in the Rein mirror or Zarya mirror, right? Because like, if it's Rein versus a Sim with like a, I don't know, Winston, you're going to get run over. But if it's like Rein v Rein with Sims, or Rein and Orisa, or sorry, Rein and Zarya versus Sim, you know what I mean? Like, at that point, she ends up being really good. So, that plus she's good on a few maps, probably a solid A tier. Torbjorn got some nerfs this season. You definitely felt it, but I don't think anything's wrong with him. Solid B tier. Playable. When they have a really annoying Sombra, pretty decent. Not as strong as he was, though. Definitely got tuned back. In a good spot. This might be a hot take. Tracer B tier. Tracer you can't kill anything anymore. You can't kill anything. It's not possible. If you go to their backline, who are you fighting? The Life Weaver? He fucking pedals away. Fucking dashes, full HP. Other support comes running in, you ain't gonna kill him. Illari, you get 2 tapped. Ana, you get slept, you're dead. Naded, 1 or 2 shots, you're dead. Bap, good luck to you. Brig, good luck to you. Kiri, headshot melee, you're dead. You ever chased a Lucio around on Tracer? No, because you're not supposed to. Mercy? If it's a bad Mercy, sure. If it's a good Mercy, good luck. If it's a good Moira and it's an actual 1v1, you ain't winning that. Zen, yeah, I'll give you that. You're probably winning the 1v1 against Zen, but Zen's never by himself. He's always with a Kiri, always with an Ana, an Illari, a Life Weaver, a Brig. You probably ain't getting them, but like, this is your best shot, right? This is your best shot. You're not killing anything. You're just annoying. You literally need follow-up damage. Your solo kill potential is non-existent. It's unfortunately the truth. Widow. That might be even too high. Widow is really bad with Sombra now. Sombra shits on Widow. It's like, it is literally not even a competition anymore. They swap Widow, you swap Sombra, deleted. Deleted from the game. Deleted. Widow can still take over. Widow's still really good. Widow can still be really, really good. But on average, I have not seen Widow do that well this season. Yeah, of course you get the game where the Widow player kills like 3 on your team. And you're like, that's always going to happen with Widow, though. That doesn't make Widow bad. It's just she's now worse than she was. Still has potential. Like, if a Genji gets a 4K Nano Blade in your game, you can't be like, Flats, you said Genji's D tier. He got a 4K Blade in my game. Well, characters still have potential to get kills, chat. That just doesn't mean that they're the optimal picks. You know what I mean? You ready to make people mad? Your time? Now it's... Okay, it's time. All right, I haven't done this in a while. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Time to make some people mad. First up, Lifeweaver. I would say Lifeweaver is a easy A tier. Really good healing. Really hard to kill. Tree is such a good ultimate. If you argue with me about Tree, which the only people I would think that really would argue with me about Tree are the same people who argued with me about Brig. Bro, Tree is literally old Brig Rally. So all the people back in like a couple seasons ago, when everyone got mad at me and screamed at me over on Reddit and Twitter and TikTok or whatever, were like, new Brig isn't good. Old Rally was better. Okay, the Tree is literally old Rally. Now what? So it's Rally, but it heals more. It's a f***ing tree, so it breaks LOS. It can be used for cover. It can be used to trap people in. It can be used in so many different ways. You get someone 1 HP, boom, tree. They're full HP and overhealth. Rally gave you armor, not in Overwatch 2. No, it didn't. Rally got changed the day Overwatch 2 beta got released to give you overhealth on April 26th, 2022. No. You're not hitting me with old Brig, because you want to go old Brig, we'll go all the way back, and it ain't going to go well. Point is, though, it's literally old Brig Rally. EMP no longer insta-kills it, so there goes that. Most of the time, you're not killing the tree. It's like Fortnite out there sometimes. They build the tree, they build a whole ass forest. You're like, oh my god, I'm in the jungle. What's going on out here? Nothing dies. He doesn't do a lot of damage, but you can't kill him, and he heals people so much you can't kill them either. So like, well, what gives? Oh, don't even get me started on, oh shit, like I'm gonna hard commit for this kill. This guy's 1 HP. Yoink! Oh, he got life grip to Narnia. Now he's full HP. Oh, that pulse bomb you landed? Psych. Oh, that shatter you landed? Psych. That pin you landed? Psych. That flux you just hit? Psych. That diva bomb you're gonna hit? Psych. That grab you just hit? Psych. That Arista pull you just, the graviton thing you just did? Psych. That Doomfist ult you were gonna land? The 1 in a million Doomfist ult you were gonna land? Psych. That high noon you were gonna hit? Psych. That EMP you just hit on somebody? Psych. That dragon you just hit someone with? Psych. The mines they're in? Psych. And by the time you get there for the follow-up, they're full HP. Easy A tier. S tier? Alari? Yeah. I think S tier Alari. Now, you might be like, streamer, last season you didn't put Alari in S tier, but she got nerfed. What's the deal? 2 things. 1, people learned how to play the character better. People with experience typically learn how to play a better character than a character without experience, right? Same thing has happened with every character that's ever come out in this game. Once you give people time and learn how to play something and they learn spots and learn strats, they end up being stronger over time than they were in the beginning. There's all the proof in the world to back that up. I personally think that we'll learn how to use her left click much more. And plus the rest of the roster being so good with healing, that the nerf to her right click wasn't that much. Because realistically, people weren't using the right click that often. The pylon did most of the healing. Most Alaris are playing DPS Alari. And you know what they do? They walk into your backline. Or actually, here's the true play, okay? This is the actual play. And I've seen this happen so many times. You pop the sun, you fly up, You fly over their team, you pop the sun on them, kill 1 or 2 people and they explode. And then on the way you're coming down, you use your shift and you boop the tank into your team and you fly back in your team and you kill the tank and you survive. So you displace the tank, you kill 1 or 2 with the ultimate or more, the pylon is healing the entire time, and you're doing really good damage the entire time with each shot. So because of the DPS support meta we've entered, characters like Bap, Illari are really good. Ana and Kiri end up being really good as well. Actually, I can't wait to rank Zen. I think you guys are going to be surprised on my Zen ranking, because Zen's whole shtick for the longest time was being a DPS support. But now, most of the support are DPS supports. So what happens to Zen? Anyways, we'll get there. So I would say Illari's S tier. Really end up being a good pick every game. You could pick Illari every game and probably be fine. You could pretty much one trigger, and I think you'd be fine. So Ana, also going in that S tier. Ana's also going in that S tier. Too valuable. Ana's just too valuable. Nano boost, sleep dart, anti-heal's the big one. You win so many fights off anti-heal. The whole point of my Roadhog shtick was that if Ana doesn't exist, you can't kill him. But her being picked literally turns this off. Gone. Can no longer pick it. It's gone. The same thing exists for all the other tanks. The only exception, realistically, is Zarya, because you can cleanse yourself with bubble. It's Sig. You can eat it, of course. You can block it, of course, but if she hits it, you're dead. Ramattra, not really any good way to block it. You're dead. Doomfist, hopefully your mobility / your shields keep you alive, but if you're not looking in a great spot, she hits you with a nade, you're dead. Winston, hits you with a nade in the back line, you're dead. Junker Queen, your whole shtick is off of healing with your Carnage and your knife. She turns off the ability to heal and you're in their team actually doing the things that Junker Queen's supposed to do. You're dead. Orisa, a little bit more flexibility if you have Fortify. If you have no Fortify and you get hit by a nade, you're dead. Diva, obviously you can eat the nade. Obviously you eat it. But Diva also takes a lot more damage than a lot of other tanks. Just because like she doesn't have like a shield or you know, constant abilities to come up and down. Like Defense Matrix is a resource. You get naded on Diva in a bad spot, you're dead. Reinhardt, you're deep in there, you're going into their team, or you're like half HP and you start putting up your shield, or you go for that swing, you walk up, you go for a swing, or you go for a fire strike, you get naded, you're dead. Roadhog, you're dead. So she just brings so much value to the table. Now you could say, but Flats, but Kiriko. Yeah, but Kiriko's also really good. So yes, if they pick Ana, you can pick Kiriko, and Ana's not as good anymore. But that doesn't make Ana not good. that doesn't make Ana not good. You know? You forgot Ball? Brother, open your eyes. It's right there. I'm literally pointing at it. Okay. Ana, I would say also in the S tier. Bap. Another for the S tier. This meta is all about DPS support. It's the whole point. Bro, Kiriko does make Ana not good what? Well, that's a TikTok comment if I've seen it in a while. No. If they pick Kiriko, it does not turn off your ability to play Ana. That is completely false information. There's so many things you need to Suzu in this game. You even just talking Ana, you have Sleep Dart and Ananade. What about if they nano boost somebody into your team? You probably have to Suzu whoever they go on first, right? So you have to Suzu those. Somebody gets low HP, you have to Suzu them. Your tank's in trouble, Suzu them. You get in trouble by a flanker, Suzu them. Yes, Suzu is very strong. But if you're playing Ana versus Kiriko, you 1000% can still get a lot of value out of Ana. Just because they pick an Ana or Kiriko does not mean that you have to swap off Ana. That just means you're throwing your anti-nade at the start of every fight and they get instant cleanse. That is legitimately, unironically, and I hate this phrase now because people have ruined it, a skill issue. Speaking of, though, BAP, the whole point of BAP is DPS BAP. That's it. You're Soldier 76 with healing. You're healing 76, right? So you spend the entire time DPSing, healing, jumping up on high ground. You have your lamp. You have basically 3 health pools because you have the lamp plus the shift. Window's a really good ultimate. Wasn't as good as Overwatch 2's, but people have started to figure out how to use it a little bit better. Still a good ult. Bap's just really good. Bap's just really good. There's not much else to say there. His numbers are insane. If you're a good left-clicking DPS Bap, you're gonna shit on people. So, speaking of shitting on people, Brig. I'd say high A. High A. Maybe low S. Brig is a brick f***ing wall. You cannot break through her. You cannot break through her. Honestly, the only thing that's keeping her out of S, in my opinion, is I don't think she's good as Bapalari. That's it. That's the only thing I'm kind of thinking about right now, is I don't think Brig is as good as Bapalari. That's the only thing. But Brig Ana is so good. Brig Ana is so good. And I mean, I played a game the other day. You guys remember? It's actually a YouTube video, I think. The game I played against the super boosted guy, the guy who like had a bot account, I was 100 charge, double bubbles online with Nano, and I couldn't kill an Ana Brig. 100 charge, 2 bubbles online, plus Nano boost. I couldn't kill a Brig or a Zen. Or sorry, Brig or an Ana together. Couldn't kill either of them. They beat me. I didn't die. I don't think I got out. But I couldn't kill them. Wasn't possible. Because of the being able to rotate the healing between each other, the shield dance, the whip shot, the nade, which forces one of my cleanses, sleep dart, which I have to also then force out of one of my cleanses, or my bubbles. Nothing. Literally nothing. They didn't even rally. They could have, if they rallied, I would have died. So I'm very tempted. I'm very, very tempted to put it into S. I'm thinking about it. Do I just piss everyone off and just go? Why not? Brig's better than Lifeweaver. Let's do it. We're gonna make a new category. Bapalari, probably the best too. Bapalari, probably the best backline you got at the moment. Ana also can be subbed in, but they just run the game. It's literally just supports every game that runs the game. If you have good support, you can turn your brain off. You'll win every time. Okay, Kiri. Yeah, Kiri goes S. Now that I made the double S tier, I don't even have to think about it anymore. Kiri's really good. Now, as the random TikTok chatter was screaming earlier, but Kiri turns off Ana. No, it doesn't. But you know what it does do? Is it turns off a lot of things. Ultimates and cooldowns. If you're playing Doomfist, and you try to punch someone and they have cleanse, you're going straight through them. You ain't hitting them. Same thing happens with things like Flux, or Grav, or Queen ult, or Orisa ult, or Diva Bomb, or Shatter, or Hook / Roadhog ult, Burning, Barrage, Dragons, Reaper ult, EMP, Torbolt, Pulse Bomb, it just turns everything off. It just turns everything off. And we're in a meta right now where supports are kind of just insanely power crept, and Kiri gets extra healing if you cleanse a negative effect, a debuff. Like anti Discord Orb, technically, I think. Being CC'd, any negative effects, boom. If you cleanse it, you get extra healing. So, you know what ends up happening half the time? You get someone 1 HP, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to secure this kill. And then the Kiriko jumps out of a tree, just like, boom! And like, it haunts my nightmares now. Like, every time I get someone 1 HP, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to make a play. Kiri jumps out of a fucking tree, like there's Spider-Man. Boom, 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 boom. There's a Kiri in my backline right now, killing one of my supports. Why? Because, well, their support's just better. It's like, well, why doesn't your support just win? I don't know. They're just not better than them. You want me to turn around and run for them? Because what happens when I turn around to run for them? They have all the space in the world. They just walk in and they kill us all. So it's up to the support 1v1 or my other support to go help him. But the other support has the moral dilemma of, do I let the tank die or do I let the support die? Newsflash, most of the time they choose to let the support live and the tank die. So that's made this a lot more of a fun season as well. Point is, though, being a support is hell sometimes. Oh, I agree with you. That was actually a really good thing from TikTok. Okay, I was not expecting that. Very rare. I know. I actually agree with you. Most support players that I know, not all, most support players I know are actually kind of sick of having to be the DPS support all the time. Because if you're not at the top of your game, constantly doing damage while balancing healing, you're losing games. You lose every game now. But if you are insane and basically say F team half the time and you go for kills, you win most of your games. But have you ever played that quick play game where that Moira walks out of spawn and then fades past you and you're half HP and you're like, hello, Moira? Moira, hello? And they're just DPS TikTok Moira on their own mission. And you're like, okay. That is being encouraged, technically. Because in the fights, you have two options. Turn back and help your teammate who's probably still going to die, or kill someone on the enemy team. So if it comes down to this moral dilemma of, do I help my team win, or can I kill enough of them that I don't even have to help them that much? So you have these games where you have the BAP and Alari that are going off and getting kills, and your only healing is the pylon. So you're playing Sigma, sitting in a corner with your shield up, throwing orbs, and you're like, holy f, I hope they don't find that pylon, because if they find that, oh, they found the pylon, and you're dead. That's it, GG. And it's like, well, okay, I died. And then you spectate, and the Alari's in their backline, doing twirls, running around in circles, and the BAP's 3 miles up in the air, headshotting somebody, right? And then that's your experience. It's like, where the f did the team game go? It's TDM. It's TDM on steroids, right? Right? Like, tell me I'm wrong. It's not. That's what the game looks like. Does it not? I took mostly season 5 like kind of off. I still played it like a little bit. Like, I didn't know it had gotten this bad until I came back and really played a lot in season 6, because season 6 was fun. Mostly until the Orisa meta started getting really bad, and then here we are in season 7. It's got so much fucking worse. So. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the support changes will change that. But I don't even think support players are having fun anymore. Like, they are actually so giga buffed that if they're not killing everybody and healing everybody at the same time, you're not even having a good time. I don't even think the support players are having a good time. Tank players aren't having a good time. Everybody knows that now. For a long time, I was the only person yapping and being like, hey, tank's not fun. Shut up, tank streamer. Shut the f up. Okay, all right, my bad. I shut up for a little bit. But now everyone realizes, oh yeah, tank is kind of awful. DPS are starting to not have fun, and even supports aren't having fun, right? Even supports aren't having fun. So now you have a bunch of DPS players playing support. I don't know. Anyways, point is, Kiri's really good. Let's move on. Sorry, went on too long. Lucio. This might be a bit of a hot take. Yeah, this is gonna be a hot take. I think Lucio's still really good. I don't know if he's as good as Zana and Brig, though. I'd put him a solid A. You can make Lucio work. You have a good team, right? You got a good team, and you play Rush. Rush is making a comeback. May Rush. So, like, May, Bash, and Sigma. May, Bash, and Rhine if you're really feeling frisky, but May, Bash, and Sigma is just way better. But some people playing Rhine. Some people playing Zarya. I think Zarya's a little bit better, but you know, that's not here nor there. The only thing I think that's bad about Lucio, I'm gonna pitch a Lucio buff. Ready? I think Lucio's boop sucks balls. I think it's the worst boop in the game. I think Zen Kick is better. I think Pharah boop is better. I think Rhine Pin boop is better. I think that Suzu boop was arguably better. It does nothing in Overwatch 2. I used to be terrified for my life, like actual fear in my soul, crossing the bridge on Lijiang Tower on Garden, and now I don't give a shit. You are never killing me. I am not afraid of you in any way, shape, or form. That shit sucks. And I don't know if it has to do with the new engine or something, but it just... like you boop them, like like the meme of the kid sitting there with the stick, like poking the ball and it's like do something. That's Lucio boop. You're poking the ball with the stick, going like, hey, do something, please. Like boop, hey, boop, bump, bump, bump. Like, yeah. Okay, dude. Like what is that gonna do? Okay, let's go next. Mercy. It's always a scary one. Skip. The Mercy Mafia is watching carefully. Wait a minute. Hang on. Do I not have like I thought I had a good track record with y'all. I thought I was on like the rewards point program for the Mercy Mafia. What the fuck? For all the shit I've done over the last few years? Are you kidding me? Hey. I have like a platinum card for like Mercy Mafia, I feel like I should be like under the protection of the Mercy Mafia for all the shit that I've said over the last few years. Come on now. Hey. Your points have expired? I didn't even redeem them. What the fuck's the point of the points? Fuck you. Alright, real talk. Mercy's good. But she's not as good as the other supports. That's just fact. I want to at best put her A tier, but I don't even know if A tier is even. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me look at this list again. Echo Mercy's good. Soldier Mercy's okay. Ashe Mercy's a definite downgrade. Pharah Mercy's okay. Bastion Mercy isn't really that great. Yeah, okay. I got my. It's B. I put it B. Mercy's probably the weakest of the supports right now. Or close. Weakest or close to weakest. So hear me out on this. Let's Mercy is trending on Twitter. I didn't even say anything! I'm trying to help you here, okay? Listen. Okay? Here's the deal. Mercy is a very hard character to talk about. One, because of fear for my own life and my own safety of my own home. And two, mostly because it's about enabling another character. So, if there's not a character that Mercy can enable in this current moment, she ends up not being as good. The whole point of Mercy for the longest time was about her movement, right? Her schmovement. Her movement is what made her fun. Every Mercy player out there always said that the movement was the best part. And that kind of got tanked a little bit in Overwatch 2. Until there was that really annoying season where she was like literally an F-22 Raptor pulling mid-air J turns. And her healing was giving her extra health. So it was like tank Mercy. It was like literally fighting the US Air Force. It's like, what the f am I doing here? Right? But those days are kind of gone, right? So, what do you bring to the table? You have the damage boost, and you have healing, and you have movement so you don't die very often. But here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. Mercy's whole kit was about enabling and never dying. But now all the supports are so strong that they don't die either. So, you spend all this time learning Mercy trigonometry, where you have a doctorate degree in Mercyology, where you know all the ships, you know all the lore, you know every skin by heart, you've researched every Mercy tier list, you have uncounted amount of hours in her to learn how to move around the battlefield, res, not die, get good Valk value, keep your other support alive, and just be pesky, right? And that's all turned off by the ability to pick Bap, Alari, Ana, Brig, or Kiri and stand there and shoot at the enemy. And if they come near you, you just kill them. So you have two options. You pick the support that kills the DPS or whatever trying to kill you, and you live, or you pick Mercy and avoid the DPS or tank or whatever that's trying to kill you and live. Which one of those gives you more value? The one where you kill them and live, or the one where you avoid them and live? I'll give you the answer. It's very simple. You kill them and live. You get a pick, and you survive. Plus, they bring more value to the table. With anti-nade, cleanse, Brig has rally / shield / a lot of displacement. Lifeweaver grip is better than res. That's a take. That's for sure a take. You know, I don't know if I totally would agree with it. I see your point, because like it's like almost a preemptive res. So instead of having to res somebody, you just save them. I'll give you that. I understand what you're going for on that. But yeah, I'm not saying Here's the problem though, right? The only buff or change Mercy should get is to her movement, right? Like Mercy should still feel fluid to play. Right? Like that's the whole point of the character. Is movement and enabling somebody. If you buff the healing, we already have way too much healing in this game. So in my opinion, what will happen if you nerf the healing numbers of everyone across the board, basically Illari, Bap, Kiri, Ana, Brig, Lifeweaver especially is like a big one, Mercy will become better. Because Mercy's not bad. It's just she's now outclassed by everyone else. And that's not a Mercy problem. That's a support problem. And unfortunately, Mercy's a support, so people might think that that's part of Mercy. But like, Mercy's in like her own little category. She's in her own little space off to the side. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a I don't know, like Taylor Swift. You know, like Taylor Swift's like her own separate part of the music industry. Like she's not like a regular artist. She's like Taylor. Like you put her off to the side, she's different. You know, like she's different. You know what I'm saying? So like it's the same thing, right? Nothing's wrong, at least in my opinion. But I think the movement could probably use a little bit of fixing. I don't know how to fix it, but yeah. In a good way? Yeah, in a good way. The point is, though, other supports are outclassing her. That sucks. You can't really buff the character, though, because you're going to break it. So the other supports need to come down, and then Mercy will be better. Okay, I think I survived. We're good. Man, this is a weird one. Moira's not bad. I throw her easy in the A tier. Moira is weird. Moira's weird. You know why Moira is weird? It's because like we basically have the DPS Moira meta, where you play like DPS Moira, but like all the supports play DPS support. So like it just kind of fits, you know? Coalescence is actually pretty good. High healing to burst into your tank is very similar to Illari or Bap or Ana. She's kind of boring to play. Yeah, but I'm not ranking these off boring to play. It's whether or not they're a good pick, you know? So, yeah, Moira gets the, I'd say, easy A. I wouldn't say she's insanely good. But if I get a Moira on my team, I'm not like, GG, go next. Right? So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. The one nobody was waiting for. Zenyatta. A tier compared to Lifeweaver and Lucio? Yeah, think about that. Before I go back, okay, I'll address that really fast before I go to Zen. Sure. So look at these two, right? What makes these two A tier instead of S? Does extremely high amounts of healing, really good ultimate, has an ability to save teammates with a push of a button, does no damage. Does a little bit more damage, but the entire point of his kit is utility. Speeding in, isolating people on the enemy team, overwhelming them, rushing into them, full team utility. Team player, beat as it is not really as good as it used to be. However, though, his ultimate is still okay. Like, it's still good. It's a team-saving ultimate or an engaging ultimate. His whole shtick is basically enabling the team to go crazy. So, what do we have here? We have a really high healing character that doesn't do damage, and a character that enables their entire team to do a lot. What does Moira do? Good healing. Good damage. Really pesky and hard to kill. She doesn't need peel very often. She's typically okay on her own. And Coalescence charges quickly and is pretty good. You can basically solo kill someone on the enemy team with a Coalescence. Like, let's say there's, I don't know, a Sojourn on the flank by herself. You're 100% killing that Sojourn. 1000%. Let's say there's an Ana on the flank by herself. Unless the Ana sleeps you, you're killing the Ana. Right? With Coalescence? Throw an orb. Pop Cole. She goes to sleep you or throw nade at you. You fade it. Boom, kill her. She's dead. You can get solo kills. And solo kills, as a support right now, is what's good. So, yeah, she doesn't have the same healing as Lifeweaver. Yeah, she doesn't have the same team utility as Lucio. That's why she goes A instead of S. So, let's finish up. Let's finish up Zenyatta. Zenyatta. And also, if you got to this point, make sure to follow button if you haven't already. Helps me out a ton. Zenyatta is not that good right now. I'm going to throw him in the B tier. Here's why. Zen's whole shtick for the entire time he's been around was a DPS support. Actually, that's not true. His original shtick was a glass cannon. He's supposed to be a glass cannon support. High damage, low survivability. But now, look at the rest of the roster. High healing, high damage, high survivability. High damage, high healing, high survivability. Killing ultimate, killing ultimate. Pretty good damage, really good survivability. Enabling killing ultimate. Insane survivability, pretty good damage over time as a team. Insane CC and displacement. And pretty good healing. Insanely high duelist potential and survivability. Really good ultimate that's a offensive ultimate that one can shut down other ults and be kind of used defensively, but mostly is used offensively to take space. Lifeweaver tree. Lifeweaver with tree. Extremely high healing, low damage. His tree is literally old rally. Insanely good. Lucio, I mean, same Lucio as always pretty much, but Rush is pretty good, so. Moira, good damage, good healing, really good survivability, doesn't need help. Where do you got Zen now? Good damage, low healing, Transcendence? Transcendence help your teammates? Discord Orb, but that's his whole thing now. Actually, well, against the current meta, it doesn't work, right? Because Sigma's good, right? Sigma's probably one of the better picks versus Zen, right? Because with the shield plus the suck, Sig doesn't take that much damage. It's not like Reinhardt. It's not like Ramattra. It's not like Winston, where you can just kick him away, put the Discord Orb on him and farm him, put the Discord Orb on him and farm him and shut him down. Sigma pokes you. You can't really do the same thing to him that way. It's not really the same playstyle. So in the current meta, you have a character that doesn't do a lot of healing. You have a character that does high damage, just like all these ones do, and has a little bit less survivability. So it's not that good. Yeah, his Discord's still really strong versus tanks, but the strongest tank right now, he's not that good against. And then Zarya is another good one, I guess, because you Discord Zarya. Yeah, that hurts for a second or two, but most of the time when you're using Zarya and you're going in, you're walking in with Bubble or having Bubble up, and you'll kill the Zen if he's playing in range, because don't forget, they nerfed the range of Discord Orb. You're playing in range, you have a good chance of killing him, and he doesn't do enough healing to save his other support. All of these other supports do enough healing to save their support before you'll kill them on Zarya. Can't do that on Zen. So, there goes that. Ramattra I'd give you. Winston I'd maybe give you. Orisa, this is a good matchup. I'd give you. And Ryan I'd give you. But what's the point? Because you just pick these ones and they're way better. Anyways, though, I think that's a pretty good tier list. I don't think anyone's F tier. I think Genji's just suffering. For anyone who didn't see the Genji clip earlier, I'm going to show it one more time because this shit is so damn funny.
3, 2, let go.
That's such a good clip.
Is that normal?
That is such a goddamn good Genji clip, let me tell you. Anyways, though, other than that, I think it's a pretty solid list. Some small things maybe I'd change, like Soldier maybe go to B, you know, Zarya go up, you know, Doomfist go up, depending on who you're talking about. Yeah, there's some small changes that can be made. But overall, though, I think I drive home with the top half of this list on what we should be focusing on. So, if you enjoyed it, make sure to follow button if you haven't already. Helps me out a ton. /subscribe/ all this other shit. So, smile. Thanks.